Cravings are absolute torture, and nothing will sabotage even the most perfect fat loss plan like the onset of cravings. I am Coach Terrell, and today I'm going to give you a way around all of these cravings, no matter what the cause. And at the end, of course, I have 5 of my easiest ways to stop them immediately, like as soon as they begin. So first, let's talk about why we have these cravings, because sometimes knowing why we have them and what's going on inside of us is going to help us, number 1, get past the cravings, but number 2, know that it is definitely not your lack of willpower that makes you give in. The first 2 things I want to talk about that are going to cause cravings more than just about anything else is sleep deprivation and stress. And I know, oh my goodness, I totally know we live these crazy lives that do make us sleep deprived and get our stress levels way up there. But if we can focus on these 2 things, we will reap benefits that go far beyond controlling cravings. But when we are sleep deprived and when we are stressed out, we produce more of a hormone called ghrelin, and this is our hunger hormone, and it definitely gets lit up during these times. But what's crazy is we also produce hormones that make food taste better while we're eating it, and that we get more joy from eating these foods. Guess what else? These hormones also make us crave foods with a combination of fat and sugar, the most deadly and fat storing combination of them all, and is literally never found in nature. So this is a human form of food that is not good for us. But why do we crave it? Well, guess what? Your body's trying to, number 1, give you more energy, and number 2, it is trying to make you feel happy. So we have these hormones and they cause cravings to make us feel happy and to give us energy. So if you are having cravings, check these 2 things first. And my best advice, just start with a solid bedtime. Pick a time, do not ever miss it, and go to bed at that time every single night. That is step 1, and you will definitely see a benefit from that. All right, the next one is one that I see all of the time because it comes when we start to make changes to our eating routines, like we start a new diet, or especially when we start intermittent fasting. Think of your fat on your body like your body's savings account, and think of the energy that you bring in from food like your body's checking account. When we go through our daily life, like buying groceries, getting gas, paying bills, we don't dig into our savings account every single time. We save that for emergencies. We would rather like cut off cable or eat out less often if things get tight. Well, our bodies are kind of the same way. When we change how we eat and how we get energy, whether through a diet or how much energy we have through like intermittent fasting, now our body is trying to not have to use its savings account. So it is going to try to force you to eat so that it can get that available energy right away. So guess what? Kick in the cravings. But the good news is that these cravings only last a short amount of time, about a week to 10 days. And these 5 solutions I have at the end are going to help with all of these through this super short period before you can get onto that really healthy life. Now this next one goes right along kind of with the last one, because it goes also making changes in your lifestyle in the form of what is called reward pathway overload. This one is so powerful because it is led by dopamine and your dopamine receptors. Whenever we eat foods which are called highly palatable, that are highly processed foods, they're a combination of fat and sugar, again, the worst combination. It activates our reward pathways in our brain, and continuing this overload of reward or dopamine going into our brain, it starts to deregulate the receptors for the dopamine, which causes us to need more and more and more of it to get the same amount of pleasure from the same food. And so we eat more and more of them, even though we know that it is bad for us. Now, once we decide to change our ways, our bodies say, hey, not so fast. And there can be some pretty intense cravings coming our way while we re-regulate these reward pathways. So now this can take a little bit longer than the 7 to 10 days that the other one did, but you will start to feel some relief within that 7 to 10 days. But just be prepared to make really good choices while you re-regulate your dopamine pathways and your reward system pathways. All right, the last type of cravings I want to talk about really quick is the ones that come from nutrient deficiencies, especially potassium and magnesium. Both of these will cause you to have cravings because they help your cells use the energy that you give it. So if you are deficient in either of these, your body's not even going to realize that it has as much energy as it does, and it's going to turn on those cravings to get you to bring in more energy. In fact, deficiencies in these two nutrients can make you feel hungry even after you've eaten a full meal, because your body's not recognizing that energy. So if you are eating a full meal and you are still hungry, and you cannot, even with the solutions that we have coming up, you can't get these to pass, I would hit up your doctor and just get a quick blood draw, see if you have any nutritional deficiencies that can just be fixed with a simple supplement. But there's also a fun fact here that if you are eating like a great big salad and you're still feeling hungry after that, did you know that most plants have a defense mechanism in them that makes you feel hungry even after you've eaten it, because that's its way of making you never want to eat it again and to save itself and continue its own survival. So if you are feeling hungry after you've eaten a full meal and it's not a great big salad, I would hit up your doctor for a quick blood draw. All right, so now we know that it is definitely not our willpower, and it is definitely not that we are just so weak we can't start a plan and see it all the way through till we reach our goals because we just keep giving in to cravings. Cravings are very hormonal, and our body is doing them for a very specific reason. You can't control cravings, just like you couldn't control how tall you grew. You can't control aging or any other hormonal process in your body. Cravings are the same way. So please, give yourself a break and help your body just kind of adapt to a new, healthier life. And here are my 5 best ways to help you do that. Number 1, please drink water. When those cravings come on, first thing I want you to do is grab about 8 to 10 ounces of water and drink it. Our thirst and our hunger mechanisms get a little bit muddied up, and our bodies and our brains don't always say, hey, I'm thirsty, hey, I'm hungry. It just wants you to eat something or drink something, so it turns kind of them all on at once. Anyway, so here's a little bit of a pro tip. Drink bubbly water. First of all, you're going to get the hydration that you need. Secondly, those bubbles, they actually make you feel more satisfied just because of their bubbles. Anyway, personal favorites, Perrier, Topo Chico, and you can get them with what's called an essence of. So there's a little bit of flavoring in there without any actual artificial flavorings, artificial sweeteners, or actual real sweeteners. So 0 calorie, all the bubbles. Love it. Number 2 is peppermint. Just the smell of peppermint is going to make you not feel hungry, and it's going to reduce your cravings for sugary and fatty foods. So here's how we do it. Peppermint tea, which I absolutely love. You can even put a little bit of stevia in it, because sometimes that little kick of sweet is really going to stop those cravings. But here's a good one. Brush your teeth. You will not have a craving if once it comes on, you go off and you brush your teeth. You're not at work or wherever you can brush your teeth. I guarantee you that craving will be gone after you brush your teeth. But you can also spritz a little bit of peppermint essential oil so that you're kind of constantly smelling a little bit of peppermint, and you will not have cravings. And I love these natural ways to not have cravings. And number 3 is eat more protein. The higher protein that you eat, the less hungry you're going to be. So it's not necessarily going to stop your cravings, but it is going to stop them before they start. So you may be way less likely to have them the more protein you eat in each meal. Make it good quality beef or chicken, but definitely, especially when beginning a new nutrition program, eat a very high protein diet. Now, number 4 is great. This is sunlight. Even a few minutes in the sun is going to help your body produce what is called serotonin. And fun thing about serotonin is it is the precursor to melatonin. So when you're outside during the day getting a little bit of sunlight in your eyes, you're actually going to produce more melatonin at night, which is going to help us with the first cause of cravings anyway. Also, serotonin boosts your mood and it suppresses your appetite. So you want to double down on this bad boy, grab about 10 ounces of water and go for a walk after lunch, and you will not be having any cravings in the afternoon, and you will sleep like a baby at night. But number 5, the last one, and my very favorite one, of course I saved it for last, and that is watermelon. I love watermelon, no lie. And I will tell you what, watermelon is going to stop your cravings because number 1, it is naturally sweetened, but in such a good way. It is also full of lycopene and that potassium that is going to help you use the energy in it. Watermelon is 94% water. This is outstanding. And 1 cup of cubed watermelon has only 40 calories in it. You can get rid of that 40 calories in only 30 minutes of twitching or fidgeting at your desk. So remember, the goal is not to just like stop cravings and blow through them like with all of our willpower, because that is not likely to happen. Our willpower is not for cravings. It's for a lot of other things. What we're trying to do is reprogram our bodies, is to set new standards to our bodies and have our bodies adapt to a new way of life. And remember that those cravings that you're feeling are a good thing. So don't be hard on yourself, because when you feel those cravings, that is you making the good changes in your body. You're doing what you need to do. You're just gonna have to just wait out a few little minutes and then you'll be right where you wanna be. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking around with me, and I'll see you next time.